Hello and good evening. My name's Inbaal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch, and I welcome you to Psychic Development with Inbaal Friends on the Bigfoot Outlaw Network. We're a YouTube channel chock full of esoteric programming, and on my show, we try to touch on all aspects of the psychic world once a week. It's a lovely community. We have a lot of fun together, and it'll be amazing if you wanted to stick around. If you'd like to get involved, you can send us messages, and I get to see all of your messages on my screen here. So, for example, a message from Marcus has already arrived, and it says, "Good evening, Inbal. I hope all is good in the home. Good evening, everyone else. Please remember to like and subscribe so you know what the lovely Inbal and others are on." So that's how a message comes through, and your message can ask any question about the psychic world or about the topic that we're going to look into. There's also a message from Grizz, whose channel this is, and it says, pay attention here, "You can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make more content." And Rob has jumped on to say hello, dearies. And he says, "Mark, why can't I see you?" I think the answer is, of course, the Mercury retrograde. But yeah, how come you fellas are not seeing each other? For anyone joining for the first time, I'm broadcasting live from right here in the UK, but you might be watching us anywhere. We're going live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. So this is going out live right now. That's why you can send messages to screen. And after it's gone live, the show gets uploaded as a podcast on all good podcasting networks. So you can catch us wherever you like. If you want to catch up with old shows, if you want to catch up with what we were up to last week and the week before, you can go on my YouTube, and there you'll have a lovely row of everything we've been up to. It's a little bit new on this broadcasting platform that we can go live in portrait and in, what's the opposite to portrait? In portrait mode, and portrait is like this, and in landscape mode. So there might be more of you watching, but we have been around for a really long time. So it'll be amazing to hear from you. So my topic this week is going to be a bit of a cheat. On the weekend, I'm going to be going to Witchfest, where I'll be giving a talk. And the talk is really aimed at introverts, at people that find being around people very overwhelming. I am fortunately no introvert. So I was hoping that you guys could help me create my talk for Witchfest. Marcus says, "I can't see anyone, but says some folks are here, and I would usually see Rob trying to get over the shingles vaccine. Bless you, bless you, bless you." Well, wait, were you at the hospital? We were in Calderdale this morning. Well, the whole day. Rob says, "Mark is going to annoy me. Are you watching an Inbal's page or Grizzly?" What does it say at the top? And Rob says, "Oh, I quite enjoy a jab." Yeah, I don't really mind. I don't mind injections. Kathy is here joining in from Facebook saying, "Hello all. Sorry, I still can't comment on your YouTube. So over here on Facebook." See the Mercury retrograde. So this morning, I saw a message on like a Hebrew language account where they were saying that some big platform has crashed this morning, and they were like, does anybody know what exactly happened? And I thought, well, I could say it's the Mercury retrograde, but I don't want to get a lot of hate, just in case people don't like me there. So Marcus says, nah, cost surgery. Local, and I'm always on Inbal's buddy. Rob says, okay, so we're writing your speech. What's the subject? I can't remember. So I don't want to do it as a speech for Witchfest. I want to do it in more of a workshoppy kind of a tips kind of way. And my topic is specifically for readers, which I think most people watching are, how to basically how to cope when there's too many people, how to cope when you've peopled too much. If there's too many people around you, how can you read? How can you maintain your calm? If there's too many people at a party, how do you maintain your calm? So I was going to touch on some visualizations, like visualizing what do you call it? Like a cloak of your favorite color, visualizing and like a golden egg shape, my usuals to keep you protected. I was going to recommend like grounding or black crystals, like shungite. I think is fabulous for like grounding, but I only know what helps me, an extrovert, sort of cope in like high person environment. Mark says, I can't take part in this because I'm anything but an introvert. So yeah, if anyone has anything to contribute. Sorry, it just updated my page. I don't know if I vanished on your screen or not. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I have many times got on a stage at Witchfest, for example, and in other places, or got in front of a camera, not knowing at all how I'm going to fill the hour. And, it always goes down well. So if you don't feel like you want to contribute, that's fine. We can talk about something else, let's do a bit of tarot. But that was kind of the topic that I was going with. So I was going to touch on meditation, making notes. I usually turn up with no notes. Meditation, crystals. I was going to touch on like little breathing exercises. I was going to go with the goddess Athena. Right, Marcus, very helpful. I carry black obsidian. Obsidian's actually, it plays double duty, doesn't it? Because it both helps you ground, but also it makes you so much more psychic. Hi, Roger. Roger's here. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Black obsidian. Shungite. Yeah, I was going to go with goddess Athena a little bit. I was thinking Athena, both because, I love her and she's the goddess of wisdom. So she has, all this knowledge and you kind of feel more confident with Athena. But also, I think any of the goddesses that has like a helmet on gives you that extra layer of protection. Rob says, I haven't read for a group before, but I do work in customer service, masking. The thing is, I think the majority of introverts are not coming. They're not coming. They're watching us right now. They're not even getting involved. So so I could be sort of preaching to the choir already over there at Witchfest. But I'll carry I'll carry your advice to the group and suggest masking. Anyone at Witchfest who struggles with social anxiety is probably already masking, or they wouldn't be at Witchfest. Um, Mark says, I also carry the bloodstone, but that's for my own reasons. Yeah, no, you gotta keep healthy before we're even looking at the introvert, the extrovert, health first. What about Hecate? She is strong. Very true, very true. And that spelling that you used is correct, and the spelling with the K is also correct. So in Greek, if I'm not mistaken, everything's a K. Everything's with a K. But when you switch it to English, I think this, this works just as well. I wonder if any of my Hecate books are with, no, this one's with a K. But yeah, I've definitely 100% seen it with a C as well. But yeah, Hecate is great. Primarily because she's the goddess of witches, so she's got all those sort of abilities and traits that anyone there will be able to relate to. But Hecate is also guide and guardian into the underworld. So if you are feeling out of your depth and you need to sort of visit somewhere quiet, how about the underworld? Hecate is going to take you there. Rob says, I'm going to be masking top form. I'll be a mess of a woman on the inside. That's fine. There we go. So Rob says Greek is Hecate with a K, yes, and the Romans, Hecate. Do the Romans not have a K? In Greek, I think everything's with a K. So yeah, maybe the Romans are bigger fans of the C. So because I want to do it specifically for people who read professionally, then I think also kind of setting up a bit of an altar. It doesn't have to be an entire altar, but a little altar on the work table works really well. I used to sometimes work with this Russian reader. She was so fabulous. Like, her English was perfect. It was like perfect, strongest Russian accent. Like, you couldn't tell if she was putting it on because it was like so strong. And she used to have like a doily, like a napkin with two like incredible like antique candlesticks and two red candles, like big red candles, fully lit. And she would do the whole reading at the light of those candlesticks. And she said it just made her feel very powerful. And that was kind of her altar. Marcus says, I was on the wrong screen. There seems to be two strange. One shows the snippet one, then this one shows the usual. Yeah, so I can see who has come from the landscape. Maybe that's why you and Rob weren't seeing each other, because I think it's broadcasting separately on landscape and on portraits. So, for example, Sabrina is saying buenos tardes. Mwah, buenos tardes to you too. And I can see that you're watching us in portrait mode. And also Larissa Santos, a name I haven't seen before. Welcome. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. So Larissa has also messaged from YouTube from the portrait mode. So they might be on different screens, which is why you're not seeing each other. Rob says, don't know if Roman had a K, but it's a C with Latin script and generally Roman. According to Sarita's teachings, anyway, she has researched it a lot more. So yeah, if that's what you picked up from her, then that would be correct. Rob says, Mark, I can see you now, right? Because he's gone to the other screen. And Sabrina says, how can fix it? So I don't know. If you go back just to the Inbaal page, can you see if there's two different lives? And are you able to pick? Maybe Marcus knows, because he's just managed to switch pages so that he can see better, and indeed so he can see Rob. Dal says hi, everybody. Hi, Dal. And oh, look who's here. Aisha's here saying hi. Missed you too, Aisha. I hope it's all good news for you. Marcus says, I think doing a little ritual or demo may go down well. Yeah, so that's the meditation that I was thinking to do, to sort of get everybody to put their feet on the ground, to visualize a cloak of their favorite color kind of covering them, visualize a golden egg shape. So I'll put it down as a demo so that I know what I'm doing. I normally have no notes. Now I have a few words, so I feel like, super prepared, like super profesh. So Rob has a list for us. Brilliant. Goddesses, that is the most Gemini response I have seen in my whole entire life. Goddesses that would bring confidence. Athena, Hecate, Hera, also known as Juno, Isis, only ever known as Isis, Sekhmet, Bastet, Hathor, Artemis, Diana, the Morrigan, Ishtar, Inanna. Let me know if you want any more recommendations. No, that is plenty. I want to focus it on not only the confidence aspect, but also the kind of being able to process so many different energies around you. So I feel like Athena has got like a correct level of chill. She's a warrior goddess. Whatever happens around her, she's like, yeah, all right. And Hecate spends, her whole day going to hell and back. Do you know what I mean? So again, correct level of chill. So it's not that the others aren't right, but I'm sort of trying to like curate a really specific vibe. And then obviously whoever sort of wants to research it further. Do you know, I have like a weird question for the introverts. Wait, I'm going to flash up the last few messages that came up, and I'm curious. So Marcus says, yeah, that's for Sabrina. Yeah, if you go onto your page and then click the other, which says live, and you shall appear here. Amazing. And we have a hi from Tim. Tim Wilt says, hello all. Hurrah, Tim. Marcus says, as part of meditation for safety, you can use my protection, I told you, and adding to the book, if you will be honored, if that's the right word. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think the grounding aspect is really important. It's really sort of the question that it's the other question. I've got a few. Do introverts ever wish that they were extroverts? Tell me, because I'm so curious about it, because as a kind of a born extrovert, no offense, I never wish to be introverted. I feel like the extroverts get, all the goodies, all the all the glory, all the positive attention. I'm not going to lie, I love positive attention. I can also cope with negative attention. Also fine. So that was my one question. My other question, it was I'll remember it later. But yeah, that was my first question. Sabrina says, oh, I think I'm in the right spot now. Amazing. Marcus says, you could always do Xena. To be fair, I want to do Xena. I never saw Xena, so I don't know. Sorry. Whenever you do like TV references, I don't know them. I don't know any of them. Marcus is welcoming Sabrina. Sabrina can see Mark and Rob. Very good that you all managed to get on top of it, because I wouldn't have understood why you're not able to see each other. Aisha has got a question. Is that a question? Yeah, let's see. Ahmad Azim, what does he think exactly and intentions for me? We're friends and we promise to stay like that and to not complicate things out. Let's see. So you made a promise, but let's see how he feels. How does Ahmad feel towards Aisha? You know, he would love for things to get serious. And he thinks to himself that if he ended up with you, like, but serious, not like a fling, but like, a marriage. If he ended up with you, he thinks that you would have an amazing life. He thinks, yeah, we're going to travel. We're going to have like a good income. We'll always be able to chat to each other. So he thinks of you as like his long-term option. He's not ready for his long-term option to occur right now. But because we're looking at his thoughts and intentions, he's thinking, well, in a few years' time, when I'm looking to settle down, Aisha would be like my perfect lady, or somebody who is just like her. So let me know if that fits with the way that he behaves. Sabrina is saying hola, hola. Rob says, right, I'm ready for these questions. So that was question one. And I tried to, I had a question two and I can't remember it now. So I'll remember it in a second. Marcus says, negative attention, never. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's just something, how for some people, like, say, if you roll your eyes at them, or if you like huff, or if you like tut, it really like absolutely destroys them. I don't understand why. Like, I don't like negative attention. I don't want to court it. I don't want to have bad vibes in my life. But if I happen to attract negative attention, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. It won't keep me awake at night. It won't make me want to avoid the person. Like after October 7th, I could see that a couple of like the school parents were not into saying hi to me. I don't care. I still said hi to them. And, sooner or later they started answering. I don't care that much. And I'd be surprised if you care. I know that it's the Aquarius in me that makes me not care. And you're like a full out and proud Aquarian. I'll bet you don't care either. If people have to say stuff, so they have to say. Rob says, yes, I wish I was more extroverted. I wish I didn't have to pretend to be okay when I feel physically sick. I also wish it didn't drain me and make me so tired. I wish I didn't need to recover. That's what I mean. I don't feel like there's one that is necessarily like nicer than the other or like, cuter than the other or anything. It just, in my mind, it sounds so exhausting being introverted and having to sort of need that space for yourself. It sounds to me like, it feels to me like it's extra work. So that's why I wondered. But you are on top Gemini form. So Rob says, I'm an extrovert introvert though, the other thing. So that is like so Gemini. And he says, Mark, how can someone not know Xena? I'm shocked. Get ready for videos, Inbal. It's a beautiful abomination of a show. I do like abominations. You found the right person. Dal says, oh, it's a good answer. No, I don't. I like being an introvert. Being in my own space is not as cluttered as an extrovert. That's really true, actually. That's really true, because I think if you look at the extrovert life from the introvert perspective, it's really chaotic and unpredictable. So I suppose it appears as if it's chaotic, as if it's exhausting in a different way. Thank you for your perspective, Daldal. I really appreciate. I really love the honesty, because now I feel like I've really sort of got insight into sort of how the other side lives. Marcus says, Aisha, my other best mate is an ex, and somehow it works. It's called respect both ways. Friends are friends, and real ones will be there no matter what. I hope you don't mind me jumping in and out. No, it's, we're a community here. Aisha says, yes, you're right. But I feel like I want him to give a commitment. So the commitment that he's willing to give, that he'll be happy to give, is just not now. It's something that he thinks would be a great idea in the future, but at the moment, he's not ready for commitment. And so if you press him for commitment, you could lose the friendship as well. And that would be a pity, because you guys are adorable together, whether as friends or as partners. Mark says, I so agree, Rob. It's Lucy freaking lawless. Aisha says, you see any romantic feelings for me? It wasn't showing up so much as romantic. It was showing up more as like committed. So it is what you want. It's just in the wrong time. Rob says, if someone slightly reacts my way, it's like fuel on a fire, that it's I'm enraged. No, but you know what's funny? Because I feel like Rob and I have a real similar capacity to discover rage in the smallest of things. But for me, it won't be rage for, for how somebody sort of treated me or spoke to me. It'll be rage like if their hummus doesn't seem like smooth enough. What does enrage me? I mean, like loads of things, obviously, but not exactly that. Aisha says, oh, so sweet. Says, I know you're always accurate on these readings. I can bet on that. Mwah. Thank you, darling. Blessings on you. Deek says, hi, do you do readings? Yeah, I'm doing like little card pulls. If you're in the mood, jump in with a question. Don't be shy. Sabrina says, I'm only an extrovert in comfortable setting or lots of coffee. Do you know, I used to be like a, bit of a party person. And in a weird way, I thought maybe the reason I was so outgoing and so extroverted is, because of the coffee. Not coffee. And then for, financial reasons, I had to sort of go out without any drinks. And it turned out that I was exactly the same. Maybe smelt a little bit better, but I was exactly the same. And that was sort of quite a revelation. I was like, oh wait, it was never the coffee anyway. It was always, it was always the me. Um, Danielle is saying, hey, happy Tuesday. Hey, everyone. And Danielle's username is very interesting. Danielle Berry Sports Highlights. Anyone here interested in sports and wants to check out what Danielle does? Lucianne says, good evening. Just got in from Alok gig. Alok? Writer and performer. Amazing. How was it? Was there good people there? And, finish kind of early? Was it good? Was it the generation that doesn't drink anymore? Lucianne says, how are we all? What happened? So weird, because I'm not really like a big whiz on Facebook. I don't understand how it works. But every once in a while, Facebook will say, you've got some friends requests, and I'll sort of, I'll see them in kind of a scroll. And if I recognize the person, yes. If I don't recognize the person, then no. And today, Lucianne, it didn't say to me, you have some friends requests, but it put your face on the entire page. And it said, Lucianne sent you a friend request. And I was like, aren't we already? Yes. Aren't we already friends? So I thought that was a really funny choice for it to decide to sort of go all in. With your face on the screen. Rob is greeting Lucianne. Marcus says, I think I would be, if it was my best mates and their families and my family, of course, but otherwise people could walk out to sea and I wouldn't bat an eyelid. I think that says that is actually quite Aquarian. No, that is true. Nilda is here. Nilda says, Inbaal, everyone that's here today. Blessings to you, Nilda. So I remember that I was just like finishing the show last week, and you came in, you said that it was just your birthday, and I only saw it after putting like the closing credits on. So a belated happy birthday to Nilda, the Scorpio. How did it go? Did you have a nice time? Maria is saying hello, dear. Hello, Maria. I can see that there's a question come in from you, so I'm going to do it in just a second. And I've got, my screen jumped. That's why I was sort of silent for a second. Marcus is welcoming Lucianne. Lucianne says, I'm very well, thank you. Good to hear. And then, there we go. So I've got Maria's question in front of me. Maria Mathis-Selenitis says, I'm wondering, will me and Philip try to be together as a couple again in the next 8 months? Let's see whether the two of you will have a bit of a reunion in the next 8 months. Yes, there is a date in the next 8 months, more like 7. But that date is going to be very innocent, fully clothed, in public. It's not a date like under the covers. It's a date like meeting to have a conversation. So it's a yes, but it's not like all the way, if you know what I mean. Let me know if that makes sense, because obviously you know your story better than I do. Marcus is saying tired, good otherwise. Rob says, introverted isn't ideal for things like making friends. You have to try really hard to get them to see the real you. Also for doing readings for people and having to be more reactive for them. I get that. Marcus says, enraged, what's that? I can't remember when I was that. Strange. Yeah, no, rage is a good friend of mine. Deke says, could you give me a reading about the future for me? Let's have a little look. The future is, so long, and the little on-screen reading is so short, but I'll tell you what I've got there for you. So first of all, I've got travel. But I see that travel is kind of connected with like a sporting activity. So it could be traveling to somewhere where they do car races. It could be traveling to somewhere, where they do skiing. There's like a connection between the travel, the journey, the trip, and between sort of something exciting, something sporty, something enthusiastic. So we've got that coming up for you. Maria says we broke up. Yeah, understood that. Sabrina says, can I have a reading for the rest of November? Absolutely. So we've got 2 weeks left for November, under 2 weeks. Let's have a look at the rest of it. Interesting. So it shows, first of all, kind of a contradiction around money, where it shows financial stress, and then money comes in and you're able to feel more rested and more relaxed. It also shows potentially a very exciting first date, still now in November. It might be like on the very, very last day of November, but there is strong potential for like a whole date, for like a passionate encounter. So, ooh, that's nice to see for you. Let me know if anything new is happening. Nilda says, do you see anyone coming my way? Let's have a look. What, like a partner or like a... Let's see. Anyone coming your way? Yes, but it's showing somebody coming your way, and it's somebody like really nice, really quality, nice shoes, knows how to take you to nice places. Somebody really nice. But I feel like you are not that attracted to him at first. Give him a chance. Yes, it's really, really important to be, to be with somebody that excites you, especially that you're a Scorpio. But the way that he treats you, that is like so respectful and so loving, that can develop more excitement, more passionate in you. So somebody's coming. It shouldn't be long. It shouldn't be too long. We could be looking at the next 4 weeks. So keep your eyes open. Rob says, enraged if hummus isn't smooth enough. I'm like that. If there's rose water in my baklava or something, or if the green locum is lime and not pistachio, who would put lime? What would, do you, do you get Middle Eastern sweets from IKEA? Who would do that? Daldal says, an introvert can pick and choose their fun time compared to an extrovert who thinks they have to be fun all the time. At least the downtime is mine. That's, for me, that's really true. That's really true. I do feel like I'm somehow like letting the side down if I'm not switched on all the time. And again, not that I care that much if I let the side down, but it is compulsive. It is compulsive for me. It's, it's really, really not wrong. Sabrina says, I had to work at being social. I admire how it's so natural for some. You know what? I think it's kind of geographical, because in different like regions and different cultures, there's different ways to be social. And it could be that you're perfectly social for one region, but it doesn't really translate for another region. So I grew up sort of quite outspoken, but also like really rude And when I first like lived in Greece with, I think it was with Australians and English people, and they were like so much more polite than me. So I was kind of the, the a-hole for being sort of rude to people, about people, like to their faces, where for me it was sort of really a way of socializing, but it did not cross borders very well. Rob says, happy late birthday, Nelda. Happy. Maria says, thank you. We do meet occasionally, but only as friends. So I think you're going to meet for what will officially be a date. You'll think of it as being a date, but I feel like the passion is not going to be there anymore. Marcus says, Sabrina, I'm a strange one because I'm social, but I can also be very anti. Yeah, that's, I think it's really Aquarian, where if you need your space, you're taking your space and nobody gets to say anything about it. And Maria says, I just wondered if we will ever be a couple. So it came up like you could be a couple, but because the passion isn't there anymore, you'll choose not to. You'll choose to sort of walk away from it as sort of just friends, but you will give it a try. Rob said, I got enraged like 8 or 9 times today, Mark. And I wasn't quiet about it either. Amazing. Marcus says, Rob, is that for reason 1 or reason 2? I think if you got enraged 8 or 9 times, it might be 1 through to 9. Anita says, hi, Inbaal and all. Could I ask a question, please? Absolutely. We've only got another like 10, 15 minutes, so get them in. Rob says, the reason that he's got enraged, stupid questions and stupid statements. I love that you've got two categories. Rob says, just from folk around me, nobody specific. I was like adamant that I'm not getting enraged today because we spent the day in hospital and everything is like so slow. And I kept having to like pop out going, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? What is going on? Because we need to go. We can't spend the whole day here. But I was really focused on keeping a positive attitude and making all the staff feel, like they're getting it right, because it really wasn't their fault. Whatever is sort of going on in terms of like funding and them being understaffed is not their fault. So my rage stayed in the car while I went to the hospital without it. So Lucian says, just sent Facebook about Alok. It was incredible, funny, emotional, and hopeful. That's nice. Sabrina says, oh, nice. I've been open, at least trying mentally. That's all it takes. I haven't gotten around to writing it out. I've been busy trying to get rid of some unwanted guest. That sounds really creepy. I hope you're okay. Anita says, the unwanted guest, do you need me to come in? Anita says, my house move was a complete nightmare. I have felt ill ever since. Will I feel better soon, or will my feelings for the house improve? Bless you. Oh, there's nothing worse than feeling under attack where you already live. You can't sort of go and hide at home because you already are at home. Will you feel better soon? And will the feelings for the house improve? So your feelings for the house will improve with time. You might not love it for a whole year until you've got it, until you've got to, the first anniversary, and then you're like, yeah, actually, I do love it. It is my place. I do enjoy it. But for feeling better, there are some physical reasons, there's some emotional reasons, but I've got your eyesight. So go get tested if you can to see whether you've got the right glasses on. It's bringing up obviously smudging. So even if you've already cleansed and smudged and, spiritually blessed the house, do it again, do it again, do it again until you feel well in it. And it's also bringing up, have you had migraines? It's also bringing up migraines. And I feel like the air there needs a lot of circulating. Let me know. Marcus says enragement, is that a word? It is now. Can be a good thing if people you off. I use my language skills and confuse them. So much fun. I don't swear. Serious Mark is dangerous. Yeah. I think there is something sort of very cleansing about rage, isn't there? Rob says, Nilda, he has nice shoes. Stop being so mean. Joke. Compliment his shoes. He tried hard to choose them. Bless him. That's so cute. Marcus saying to Rob. Nelda says, I had a great time for your birthday. I legally a senior citizen, 65. Congratulations. Enjoy life. I'd wanted on reading on my birthday from you. No problem. Maybe you can do a general reading for that date or what is coming my way. Yeah, why not? Let's have a little look how the next year is going to be for you. So between now and 66, let's see. This is going to be a year for you to explore the inside. This year just gone, you're outside too much. You've had experiences that you wish you didn't even have, right? So this year, you reward yourself by allowing yourself to stay indoors, meet someone lovely, spend some lovely dinners with him, do simple things, listen to music together, read books and talk about them, like really chilled out. It's a very calm year. It's a very emotionally empowering year, and it's a very mentally empowering year. All the hard work that you've put into becoming the person you want to be is all coming together now. And Daldal says, can you give me a reading for the rest of 2025, please? Thank you. Yes, let's have a look at that. So we've only got like 6 weeks left for the rest of 2025, maybe 7. Oh, right. You have the most passionate cards come up. I have to show you them. So instead of strength in the Thoth deck, you've got lust. And then the devil is a really passionate card. I don't know if you know the Thoth very well, but do you see what is in the picture? All erect. And then we have this strength card. So it's the 9 of Wands, but it's called strength. So we have a really strong vibe of you attracting a lot of attention. I would go so far as to say you're magnetizing attention. Is going to be all eyes on you, which is a little ironic, considering we just spoke about like the introvert and having your space. So all eyes on you, a lot of passion for the rest of the year, and an admirer comes crawling out of the woodwork. It is the Mercury retrograde, isn't it? So this admirer could well be an ex. Let me know when that happens. Nilda says, interesting. In a couple of weeks, I will let you know when it happens. Love you, dear. Mwah, love. We're starting to run out of time, so I'm going to read the messages quickly and see who else is here. So Rob says, Mark, I literally go instantly red. You can see I've reacted. There is no hiding it. Love that. Um, and Sabrina says, Mark, my daughter is the same way. You two are the same sign. Fabulous. Sabrina says, I have to go back to lunch. Have a lovely week, everyone. Mwah, see you soon. Sunshine is saying hello from Ireland. I'm assuming Sunshine is more of an aspirational name rather than a description, rather than a descriptive name. Maria says, "May I ask what you feel will happen?" We'll do it. We'll do another question another time. Marcus is saying, "Take care, Sabrina." Yeah, she is an Aquarian. That's right. And Rob says, "Here, let's make a question really appropriate. How can you feel as calm and relaxed as possible this Saturday?" Such an appropriate question. Let's see. How do you feel as calm as possible this Saturday? First of all, make it an illusion, make it a dream. Like, feel like you're stepping into a whole dream dreamscape, right? Feel like you're stepping into a whole dreamscape, like it's not even real, like the people that you know are not even real. It's people that you know, like from from other planes. Shop. Honestly, you'll feel better if you shop. There's something about spending money that will make you feel more attuned, and stick to the people you know, especially if they're moms. So yeah, enjoy the maternal energy of of ladies who are there and who are happy to to keep you safe. um Rob says, our need to the move trauma is real. Wishing you speedy recovery. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to move. Um, Marcus saying to Rob, and reminding that it is the final 10 minutes, which was, a while back. Anita says, thanks, Inbal. There is hope then. No migraine, but I've been feeling that my eyes have deteriorated recently. Have a little check. Have a little check. Rob says, I hope they have good toilet. I don't know that venue. I hope so too. I think that venue is quite posh actually. So I'm hoping that the bathrooms are. Daldal says this is Mercury retrograde, big time. Kim is here saying hi. I'm late. Just wanted to say hi, Kim. Pleased you made it. Rob says 2025 was a disgrace. Goodbye, 2025. We won't miss you. I don't know. I've had an amazing year. I've had such a brilliant year in some ways. Nilda says that sounds great. I really look forward to it. I'm very blessed. And Marcus says, I was given a radar key by Macmillan when I was first diagnosed. I think I've used it twice at my worst, but keep it for when I need it. I mean, it's my key. It is yours. It's decent. And Rob has put like a little key. Oh, Rob's put a little key. Luciane is sending love to all. Oh, amazing. And there's somebody putting rude stuff. Let's make sure that this person can't see it. There we go. Goodbye. Amazing. Right. I think we looked at all the messages and we're coming to the end of the show. I will see some of you on Saturday at Witchfest. I will see some of you on the screen on Thursday for Psychic Brunch with Laura. And I will see everybody else, hopefully, this time next week, looking at some more psychic development stuff. Have a wonderful evening. Great to see you all.